Coming up on Mornings on the Hill, COVID numbers are rising on campus and in the local community. We'll have the latest numbers and find out how many are infected.
And Syracuse University law professor Paula Johnson offers her thoughts as history is made with the Supreme Court.
And a rainy start to our Tuesday morning, but what will the rest of the day bring? And is warm up in store? We're live from Newhouse 2 for this edition of Mornings on the Hill. Good morning, I'm Morgan Scott. Thanks for joining us for Mornings on the Hill.
And I'm Calvin Cristoforo. Here's a look at some of the stories we're covering today. 5 people were shot at a subway station in Brooklyn, law enforcement say. The New York Fire Department reports of smoke this morning at the 36th Street station in Sunset Park. Trains servicing the station were delayed during the morning commute, and according to multiple officials, a suspect is wearing a construction vest and a gas mask. More to come on that story.
Our top story this hour, COVID numbers are on the rise in the county and in certain cities around the nation. Our Miles Hood joins us live with an update on the numbers on campus and the new variant of Omicron. Miles?
That's right, a new variant called BA2. It's being nicknamed the stealth variant that has been discovered. Now, you may be asking questions like, how does it come about? What is it? And how it might affect you? Well, it's an extra contagious variant of the Omicron, but it doesn't seem to cause a more severe disease. And since it was first identified in November, BA2 has been spreading around the globe, driving new surges in parts of Asia and Europe. It's now the dominant coronavirus in the U.S. and in more than 5 dozen other countries. It was given the nickname stealth because it looks like earlier Delta version on certain PCR tests. Now, the original Omicron, by contrast, is easy to differentiate from Delta because of a genetic quirk. In rare cases, early research indicates BA2 can infect people even if they've already had an Omicron infection. COVID-19 vaccines appear just as effective against both kinds of Omicron, offering strong protection against severe illness and death. Now, health officials are also tracking other variants, including XE, which is a combination between stealth and the original Omicron, and it was first identified this past January in the United Kingdom. Now, the World Health Organization is keeping tabs on XE, but has not yet deemed it a variant of concern or interest. Now, taking a look at the COVID campus numbers, there are 123 active cases between students, staff, and faculty, which is down 34 from the last report on April 8th. And student cases are at 43, which is an uptick of 13 from the last report, also on the 8th. Now, current masking guidelines are still at yellow, which means that for vaccinated individuals, masks are recommended but not required, indoors and outdoors, and for unvaccinated individuals, they are required at all times. Now, we will have an update on campus numbers and keep tracking the variants as they happen. Reporting live from Mornings on the Hill, I'm Miles Hood.
And just coming in this morning, inflation has increased to 8.5% in the last year. That is the highest year-to-year increase since 1981. Prices have been driven up by supply chain issues, customer demand, and disruptions to the energy market. The government's report also shows inflation rose 1.2% from February to March of this year. And as we look at the stock market coming on the air this morning, the market shrugged off yesterday's inflation news and is rebounding after losses yesterday. The Dow is up over 250 points, and the NASDAQ has jumped over 1% this morning. Reporting live in the newsroom, Thomas Cook, Mornings on the Hill. Morgan?
Thanks, Thomas. Our Rochelle LeGrand is live in studio today to give us an update on the Supreme Court Justice confirmation.
Thank you, Morgan. On Thursday, history was made with Ketanji Brown Jackson confirmed as the next Supreme Court Justice. She's the first Black woman to receive this honor, and many have called this long overdue. I sat down with Syracuse's professor of law, Paula Johnson, to talk about this historic confirmation. Ketanji Brown Jackson's confirmation to the Supreme Court occurred in Washington, D.C., but resonates all the way in Syracuse, New York. Paula Johnson, a professor at the Syracuse University's College of Law, discussed the justice's profound impact and how it will shape the future of the United States justice system.
Having someone with her background, which is different from all of the others who are there, will be important for them to be able to gain perspectives from people whose, opinions or histories, they would not typically consider or hear from directly from somebody who looks like Justice Jackson.
Those perspectives stem from her background as one of the only justices to serve as a public defender to the court. She was also a member of the Sentencing Commission, which Professor Johnson detailed will serve Jackson well in her new role. Although this accomplishment has broken glass ceilings for women, Black women, women pursuing law and politics, the treatment Justice Jackson endured during her hearings was a painful sentiment that was all too familiar to Johnson.
I think that a lot of Black women, and I will say self-included, found that was an experience that many of us were in some sense reliving as we watched her have to experience and endure that kind of questioning.
As for the future of the Supreme Court, Johnson expects a new wave of inclusivity that will be brought to the judicial system.
The Supreme Court now has, taken a further step toward being inclusive in ways in which historically, for over 200 years, it has been exclusive. And now we can look at something that has the promise of equal justice under law because we have more voices that will bring that to bear.
Professor Johnson also said that although Jackson is the first, she certainly won't be the last. Reporting for Mornings on the Hill, I'm Rochelle LeGrand.
Thank you so much, Rochelle. The holy month of Ramadan is here. Our Calvin Milliner joins us live to tell us how a local mosque is approaching the month.
Thanks, Calvin. The month of Ramadan is here, and with it comes reflection and worship. Muslims around the world are becoming closer to God. Here's how the Islamic Society of Central New York is preparing for the month.
You guys manage to fast, no eating, no drinking for such a long time, right? And I'll tell them it's not about just being hungry, not about food or drinking or eating. Just it's about the spiritual connection.
The holiest time of the year is here for Muslims. Imam Muhammad al-Fiqhi explains the month and the history of Ramadan.
For example, fasting is obligatory upon Muslims, and God says in Quran it was made or prescribed for nations before us. So we know that we're not the first nation to have fasting, maybe different kinds. And we know that when we study fasting in Quran, we know that the best fasting was the fasting of Prophet David, father of Solomon, and he used to fast every other day all his life.
The misconception by non-Muslims that Ramadan is just about fasting is going away. The president of the Islamic Center of Central New York, Abdullah Al-Dubai, said it's more of a spiritual journey. He believes the media is coming around to Ramadan.
Even the media, they start building relations with the communities and stuff like that. And then they know Ramadan is big. They know Eid celebration after Ramadan. The holiday is really big because people they cover it. There's a lot of good connection. If something happens, let's say, they will come and then cover it immediately. I think they did a good job so far. Yeah.
The 30-day period of Ramadan lasts from April 2nd to May 2nd. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Calvin Milliner.
Easter is this weekend, which means that bunny will be hiding eggs for us to hunt. And as cute as the bunny may be, they may not be a good addition to your Easter basket. At the CNY SPCA, there is a special place for little creatures, as humane educator Dee Schaefer likes to call them. CC's Haven, currently home to 4 bunnies, has a long wait list of past Easter bunnies looking to be adopted. While there may only be 4 right now, Schaefer says the shelter has been home to more than 100 bunnies at a time. She says the lack of information leads many to run into problems. People either drop them off at a shelter or return them to the store.
At the end, they brought him back because they found out it was not the right pet for their family.
Or let them outdoors, which leads to a sad ending for these domestic animals. Many shelters do take precaution and stop adopting bunnies around Easter to try to limit these adoptions, including the CNY SPCA, who crosses its fingers that it won't be gifted an Easter bunny this year.
Coming up here on Mornings on the Hill, a sport you may have never heard of is quickly gaining popularity here in Central New York. Well, that story and more after the break. Welcome back into Mornings on the Hill. I'm Calvin Cristoforo.
And I'm Morgan Scott. Time to check your weather for today.
Caitlin McCarthy is live outside on University Ave to tell us exactly what to expect.
Thanks, Calvin. Well, when I walked into Newhouse this morning, the rain was coming down. I had my raincoat and rain boots on, but now the rain is gone and the sun is shining. The flowers are blooming just like on my shirt, and spring has finally sprung. Now let's take a current look at our conditions for today. Currently, it is 50 degrees with light winds. Pretty humid outside, 89%, but it really doesn't feel like it. There's light winds with just 8 miles per hour as the winds are going west. It's a beautiful spring day for a nice walk around town or maybe to grab some ice cream, but it won't stay around too long today as the temperatures drop down to the 40s tonight with a slight chance of rain at 20%. Taking a look at tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be a nice day. It's going to be cloudy in the morning at 51 degrees, but it's going to warm up into the afternoon. Sunny skies, a high of 75. I know I'm definitely going to be wearing shorts and sandals tomorrow for this beautiful day. And warmer temperatures going throughout the evening. But starting around 4, there's going to be a chance of scattered thunderstorms and rain continuing throughout the night. And taking a look at the week ahead, you're going to need your raincoat and umbrella for the rest of the week as rain continues to rout. On Thursday, a 60% chance of rain, but high temperatures once again, a high of 73 degrees. And on Friday, a high of 64. No sun. Is going to be cloudy all day with a 40% chance of rain. And over on to the weekend on Saturday, you're going to want to just pack your umbrella just in case, as there's a 40% chance of rain. But on Easter Sunday, it's going to be a little chilly to go Easter egg hunting, but only 20% chance of rain. Sunday will be filled with sunny skies and a high temperature of 47 degrees. And that's your weather report for this week. I'm Caitlin McCarthy for Mornings on the Hill.
Finally, some spring weather in Syracuse. And a former Syracuse City teacher is working with the youth to build the next generation of men. Our James Cotato is live in the newsroom to tell us how he's making a real difference.
Morgan, thank you. Sometimes in life, you just need that one push, and it could change your life. But for these 6th and 8th graders in Nottingham School District, that's exactly what they're getting.
Oh, the feeling of being a kid again. But these aren't any normal kids. No, these kids are eager to learn.
Because these people here, they're teaching you a lot of good things, and they're not going to teach you nothing wrong, so you should take their advice.
Advice from people like Cazenovia College men's basketball coach Justin Stern. Some of these kids want to play pro basketball, but Stern knows the work off the court matters just as much.
Think about games or your tests in school. Did you prepare, did you do anything, did you listen to prepare yourself for the test, just like you prepare yourself for a game?
I want them to understand that just by putting yourself in the right surrounding, putting yourself in the right situation makes a big difference. It's more than just playing college basketball. It's about being a part of something and giving back.
This all started with one person.
He's telling them to, like, if you see someone new, shake their hand, like, hug each other, like, fix things. Like, if there's beef going on within, like, one another, just learn to, like, settle it with, just keep things to a minimum.
A dad with a 4-year-old son. He was fresh off a divorce and needed help realizing what it really meant to be a man.
There was points in my life when I felt there was no one I could talk to, no one I could really share this stuff with. And I want to provide that space where they feel safe enough and they can talk to each other.
So how does someone build men?
So who found my dollar?
Maybe by taking the boys through every aspect of what it means to be a man, like the lesson of the day.
You found it?
The dollar drop. Haran says it only took 30 seconds for someone to pick it up and put it in their pocket. And although it took a few minutes, the right intention of giving it back was always there.
Could he have not said anything when I said, who took my dollar? Absolutely.
But he did. And after all, that's what a real man would do.
They are worthy. They have every opportunity in front of them, and we need to help them go get that.
So boys will be boys. But Haran is literally working to build men every day.
And so I appreciate you for that integrity.
In Syracuse, James Cotato, Mornings on the Hill.
What a great story, James. Thanks so much. And when you think about popular sports, you may think of football or basketball. However, as Mornings on the Hill reporter Thomas Cook explains, there's a sport gaining popularity faster than any other.
Calvin, when the pandemic hit in 2020, lots of people couldn't gather inside, and that allowed some other sports to gain in popularity. Pickleball is now the fastest growing sport in America and has grown over 43% year to year. That has led to pickleball-centric gyms opening in central New York.
512.
It's a mix between wiffle ball and tennis, pickleball. And now, according to the USA Pickleball Association, it's the fastest growing sport in the United States.
It's a great drop.
All you need is a paddle and a ball.
It's indoors, any weather, to try out this game that so many people are falling in love with America is just wonderful for the area. That's primetime Vic right there.
Pickleball Mania opened in December of 2021. It is the first pickleball-only gym in central New York. Owner Lisa Carter opened the gym because she needed a place to play.
People realize that, oh, I've heard of that sport, but I didn't know what it was. And all of a sudden they start playing and they just keep coming back.
Lock the wrist, punch through.
Once you start, you just can't stop. It's like those Lay's potato chips.
Pickleball, you can pick it up with no athletic talent and start the basics of it and be successful.
So it allows parents to play with their children.
Nice.
9-year-old T. Collins started playing with his family, and now
3-8-1.
they're regulars at Pickleball Mania.
That's super fun. Part because I love playing pickleball and because I like all of the conversation and I like all of the family.
Teek's mom, Dre Allery, has always been playing sports. When she found pickleball in the middle of the pandemic, it was just her and her friends. Now,
my 3 kids play it, and it's been just really fun to watch them get into it along the way too.
Good game.
And pickleball has grown so much in popularity, Lisa says her gym has become busy, and she says any skill levels are welcome to come. Reporting for Mornings on the Hill, I'm Thomas Cook.
Coming up on Mornings on the Hill, new women's basketball head coach Felicia Leggett-Jack adds another familiar face to her coaching staff. Allison Turner has the latest after the break.
A top 5 matchup, a new assistant coach, and a green jacket was won. Welcome back to your Orange Sports Update. I'm Allison Turner. A lot has happened in the world of sports, and I'm here to break it all down for you. First up, women's lacrosse. Now, Saturday was a big day for the women's lacrosse team as they hosted the undefeated North Carolina Tar Heels in the Dome. It was a highly anticipated game, and records were broken with nearly 3,000 people in attendance to watch the thriller. Top 5 teams, both undefeated in ACC play, face off. Let's get into it. With 2 strong teams like this, it's gotta be close, and that's exactly how it was. Both teams brought their A game, and by the end of the first quarter, they were tied at 3 goals before the Tar Heels scored to increase their lead. But don't get too comfortable with that, Tar Heels. Senior Megan Tyrell scores on an incredible shot. Now at the end of the second, Syracuse is out up 1, then Jamie Ortega gets in there to tie it up yet again. I told you it would be close. The Orange gets the lead yet again to start off the third quarter, a great way to continue play. Now we're halfway through the third. The Tar Heels have a 3-goal lead until Syracuse scores to cut into the deficit. They try to continue to decrease the Tar Heels lead, but ultimately it proved to be a little too much for the Orange. UNC ends up winning the game 14-12 and remains the only undefeated team in the country. Head coach Kayla Trainer said despite the loss, it was a great game of lacrosse.
2 really good teams battling for 60 minutes. Unfortunately, we came up short. I think our girls really bought into the game plan. I think they really played hard, and you know, this game is a game of inches, and it was close, and you know, we're just hopeful that we get to play those guys again and get another opportunity at them.
And in basketball news, former Syracuse women's basketball player Sue Ludwig, she's officially coming home. Less than 3 weeks after Syracuse announced that Felicia Leggett-Jack would be the new women's basketball head coach, yesterday they announced that Sue will join as an assistant coach. Well, at Syracuse, Ludwig scored over 1,200 career points and ranked 17th on the all-time scoring list. She was also a 2-time All-Big East selection for the Orange. Ludwig has been the head varsity girls basketball coach at West Hill High School for the past 30 years, where she has won 586 games and became the winningest high school girls basketball coach in New York State. Welcome home, Sue. And history was made at the Masters this weekend, and a green jacket was won. Scottie Scheffler became the 5th golfer to enter the Augusta National ranked #1 and win the Masters. Scheffler dominated the final 3 rounds and won by 3 strokes, shooting a 1 under 71 in the final round to end the tournament at 10 under. This is Scheffler's 4th victory on the PGA Tour season, making him the 2nd golfer to win as many events, including the Masters, in that span of time. Rory McIlroy placed 2nd, while Cameron Smith and Shane Lowry tied for 3rd. And the WNBA draft was last night, and a familiar face was selected. Our Caitlin McCarthy has everything you need to know.
The WNBA was held in person for the first time since 2019 as some of the best faces in women's hoops gathered in New York City and childhood dreams came true. New York native Emily Engstler was selected 4th overall by the Indiana Fever. Engstler spent 3 years in Central New York playing for the Orange, where she was Co-6 Player of the Year. She spent her last season in Louisville as the Cardinals reached the Final Four. Now Engstler, she joins a Fever team that had the worst record in the WNBA last year, 6-26, but they did have the most draft picks with 7. Some stars as Lexi Hull from Stanford and Destiny Henderson from South Carolina also joined the team. But also don't forget to sign up at ESPN Fantasy League, as this is the first year the WNBA will have a fantasy league. Just in time for the season in a few weeks, as Indiana Fever will take on the Washington Mystics on May 6th for opening night. Back to you.
Still to come here on Mornings on the Hill after the break. Bennifer 2.0 appears to be back and better than ever. Oh baby, what a surprising pregnancy announcement. All that and more entertainment news just ahead.
Can you feel the love this morning? Couple Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are getting married. The re-engagement comes 19 years after J-Lo initially said yes in July of 2002. The couple rekindled their love, confirming back in 2021 they were head over heels for each other again. And now the music icon and movie star have a flashy engagement ring to prove it. The couple tried to keep the news private for as long as possible with an intimate proposal from the Batman star. The moment was meaningful, and a source says Ben put a lot of thought into it, making sure to get a ring featuring Jennifer's favorite color. And say this one with me. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes baby and the baby carriage. But not for the Bennifer couple just yet. Let me give you a hint and cue my inner pop star. Oh baby, baby, Britney Spears is pregnant. The Oops, I Did It Again singer and fiance Sam Agari are expecting their first child together. The future Mama 3 announced in an Instagram post yesterday she noticed a little weight gain after her trip to Maui. Her personal trainer Boo claimed it was just a food belly from eating good. Britney had to confirm with the pregnancy test after the food belly didn't go away after the vacay. Britney stated, and I'm having a baby. The future dad says, fatherhood is something I have always looked forward to, and I don't take it lightly. Now, Morgan and Calvin, I know it's a little early, but I'm seeing blue, expecting a boy. Are you guys team boy or team girl?
Well, for one, I'm happy, but I think I'm gonna go team girl. I know she already has 2 boys, so give her a girl.
You took the words right out of my mouth. She has 2 boys already.
Yeah.
I think a girl's coming.
And April 29th, mark your calendars because it's block party season here in Syracuse. The University Union's block party tickets are on sale now for SU and SUNY ESF students for $25 max. Students can see Gunna, Baby Keem, A-Track, and 070 Shake. Doors will open at 6:30 p.m. and the show will be starting at 7. And don't forget to have a physical ticket.
And on another note, a local Syracuse student favorite is back in full swing. Coleman's Irish Pub block parties are back, and that means weekends filled with outdoor music and good times.
Finally this morning, we are officially 1 month out from the last day of the semester. Spring semester will be wrapping up on May 12th, and this week's class registration begins tomorrow. So don't forget to fill your shopping carts with the classes you want to take for the 2022 fall semester. That's going to do it for us this Wednesday here on Mornings on the Hill. I'm Morgan Scott. Follow us on social media.
And I'm Calvin Cristoforo. Thanks for watching Orange Nation. We'll see you next Tuesday and Friday live right here on OTN.